Hello, everyone. Welcome to our story. Today, we will learn about a very important person named Siddhartha Gautama. Many people know him as the Buddha. His story is old, but it is full of important ideas for us today. It is like a journey to find happiness and peace, the young prince in the palace. A long, long time ago, in a country called Nepal, a baby boy was born. His name was Siddhartha Gautama. His father was a king, so Siddhartha was a prince. The king loved his son very much. A wise man told the king that Siddhartha would become a great leader or a very wise holy man. The king wanted his son to be a king like him, so he decided to keep Siddhartha inside the palace walls. Inside the palace, Siddhartha had everything. He had beautiful clothes, delicious food, and many servants to help him. He lived in beautiful gardens. He never saw anything sad or difficult. The king did not want him to see old age, sickness, or death, because he thought these things might make Siddhartha want to leave the palace and become a holy man. Siddhartha grew up in this beautiful, perfect world. He learned many things that princes learn. He was strong and smart. He married a lovely princess, and they had a son. Life was good and comfortable inside the palace. He had no worries, no pain. He thought this perfect life would last forever. He did not know about the world outside the palace. Seeing the world outside. One day, Prince Siddhartha wanted to see the world outside the palace gardens. He asked his driver to take him. The driver took him in a carriage. Outside the palace, Siddhartha saw new things. He saw an old man. The man was weak, and his body was not strong. Siddhartha had never seen an old person before. He asked his driver, "What is this?" The driver said, "This is old age, Prince. Everyone gets old." Siddhartha felt surprised and a little sad. Later they saw a sick person. The person was lying down, in pain. Siddhartha had never seen sickness before. He asked, "What is this?" The driver said, "This is sickness, Prince. People get sick." Siddhartha felt very sad. Then they saw something very difficult. They saw a dead person. People were carrying the body. Siddhartha had never seen death. He asked, "What is this?" The driver said, "This is death, Prince. Every life ends." Siddhartha felt very, very sad and thoughtful. He realized that his perfect life in the palace was not the whole truth about life. Old age, sickness, and death were real. On a fourth trip outside, he saw a holy man, an ascetic. This man had nothing, but he looked peaceful. He had given up comfortable things to find truth and peace. Siddhartha looked at the man and thought, maybe this is a way to understand suffering and find peace. These four sights, old age, sickness, death, and the holy man, changed Siddhartha completely. He realized that everyone suffers. His perfect life in the palace could not protect him from this truth. He felt a strong wish to find a way to stop suffering, not just for himself, but for everyone. Leaving everything behind. Siddhartha was now about 29 years old. He thought a lot about what he had seen. He knew he could not stay in the palace and pretend that suffering did not exist. He wanted to find the answer to why people suffer and how to end it. This was a very hard decision. He had a wife, a son, and a life as a prince waiting for him. But his wish to find the truth was stronger. One night, while his family was sleeping, Siddhartha quietly left the palace. He took off his prince clothes and cut his long hair. He decided to live a simple life, like the holy man he had seen. He became a seeker, someone looking for the truth. He left his old life completely to find a way to help all people find peace. The hard search. Siddhartha spent many years trying to find the answer to suffering. He met different wise teachers and learned from them. But their answers did not feel complete. He also tried living a very hard life. He ate very little food. He tried to control his body completely. He became very thin and weak. He thought that maybe by making his body suffer, his mind would find the truth. But this did not work either. He realized that living like this was just another kind of suffering, and it did not bring him closer to understanding. He learned that extremes were not the answer, not too much comfort, and not too much hardship. After years of searching and trying different ways, Siddhartha felt tired but determined. He had not found the answer yet, but he did not give up. Finding the light under the tree. One day, Siddhartha sat down under a large tree. It is now called the Bodhi tree. He decided that he would stay there until he found the truth about suffering. He sat in deep meditation, focusing his mind. He sat for a long time, maybe all night and into the next day. He faced many difficult thoughts and feelings, but he stayed strong and focused. Then, as the morning star appeared in the sky, something amazing happened. Siddhartha's mind became completely clear. He understood everything. He understood why people suffer, and, more importantly, he understood the way to end suffering. This moment was called Enlightenment. He had found the truth he was looking for. When he stood up from under the tree, he was no longer just Prince Siddhartha or the Seeker. He was now the Buddha, which means the Awakened One, or the Enlightened One. He had woken up to the truth of reality, teaching others the way. After becoming the Buddha, he could have just stayed in peace. But he remembered why he left the palace, to find a way to help all people. So he decided to share what he learned. He gave his first teaching to 5 friends who had been with him earlier. He taught them about the 4 noble truths. These truths explain that suffering exists, suffering has a cause, suffering can end, and there is a path to end suffering. He also taught about the Eightfold Path, which is like a guide for how to live a good life, think good thoughts, and find peace. It's a way of living that helps reduce suffering. The Buddha traveled to many places and taught many different people. People from all walks of life came to listen to him, rich and poor, men and women, old and young. His teachings were clear and simple, and they helped people understand their own minds and find peace in their lives. He showed them that happiness does not come from outside things, but from inside ourselves. A long life of helping. The Buddha taught for about 45 years. He created a community of monks and nuns who followed his path and helped share the teachings. He helped thousands of people find a way to live with more kindness, wisdom, and peace. His teachings spread. People learned about meditation, about being kind to others, and about understanding their own thoughts and feelings. The Buddha showed everyone that they could find enlightenment too, by following the path he showed. The Buddha's passing. When the Buddha was about 80 years old, his life on earth came to an end. He became sick. He told his students not to be sad. He had shown them the way, and now they must continue to walk the path themselves. The Buddha died peacefully. For people who follow his teachings, his death was not a sad end, but a final release from the cycle of suffering, achieving ultimate peace. The Buddha's legacy today. The Buddha lived a long time ago, but his teachings are still alive today. Millions of people around the world follow his path to find peace and happiness. His story is a reminder that we can all look inside ourselves to understand life and find a way to live with less suffering and more joy. His life shows us that true richness is not in money or things, but in a clear mind and a kind heart. He was a prince who became a beggar but found the greatest treasure of all, the truth. We hope you enjoyed listening to the story of the Buddha's life. His story has many important lessons for us. What part of this story did you like the most? Please write a comment below and tell us your thoughts. And listen, if you know more interesting things about the Buddha or his teachings, please share what you know in the comments too. When you share your knowledge, you help other people learn even more about this important person. If you like this story, please click the like button. And if you have ideas for our next story topic, please tell us.